mysterious sandstorm has uncovered the pyramid of Raktal, a pharaoh who sold his soul for the treasures that he's now buried with. Adventurers, your quest is to recover the fiery opal of Hansalagul.
I just finished watching the short film Escape. I thought this was a lot of fun. It had me on the edge of my seat because I wasn't sure if it was going to turn dark and sinister. I really loved the location they chose. It was an actual escape room, it looked like, and had all the props and all the just all the cool Egyptian things, and it just looked legit. All the lighting and everything was really good. It just made me feel like I was in the escape room with them. And I actually felt more for the guy. I felt like I was on this journey with him and really wanted her to be excited. And she wasn't. And I think at the end when they hit the exit button, it was like a symbol for exiting the relationship for me. That's how it felt, because she didn't seem like she really wanted to be there. And he really wanted her to be on board and have fun and enjoy the journey with him, and it seemed like they were just on two different pages. So I thought the acting was really good, the writing, the whole thing was just a really cool little short. I was a little confused at one point, just wanting to know if the girl was had purposely gotten high, or if it really was an accident, if she really wanted to be there or didn't want to be there. But since she had purposely tried to take a Xanax, I kind of figured there was probably something wrong with on her end as far as the relationship. But I love this story. I love the concept. I thought it was a great idea, and good job.
Escape to me felt like a metaphor for a really healthy breakup. We have two people that coming into this film, they're both on two very different levels. We have the guy who is very enthusiastic and ready to take on this challenge, and then we have the girl who is just so out of it, on a different wavelength, like totally not engaged. I mean, she's high, so it makes sense, but just having them from the beginning be on such different levels. And then throughout the film, they're both going through these same puzzles together. They're figuring things out together, still totally different wavelengths. They are not communicating all that well, and they're getting into arguments over small things. She's having, when she's talking to Anubis, like these in her head, just like, what do I do? Like, how do I get out? And in the end, them both sort of realizing that they don't have to push themselves through this to get to the end and to be like, they don't need to get to the end. They don't have to make themselves miserable. They can decide to end it together. So yeah, I thought it was just like a very healthy breakup of the two characters.
Of all the words that I could use for escape, I think relatable is the strongest word. I feel like a lot of us have been in both situations, that being the situation where you want to do something fun, or you're dragged along to do something fun, and either you or someone else are having a situation where you're not okay.
I have good news.
And I feel for both of them, because on one hand, you know, you wanted to have fun, or you spent a lot of money on something, and by leaving, something you were looking forward to is now gone. But on the other hand, when you're in the other situation, you know that if you request to leave, you're essentially bringing down the fun, and now you're the reason why the fun has to stop. And because of that guilt, you try to push through it, which only makes things worse. And so I definitely think that this was a very relatable film.
I really enjoyed this. I've done a few escape rooms. I've never done them high. The closest I did was doing one super hungover, and that was such a terrible idea. So having her already be in the room and then realize that she's super high, like, just was, I thought, really funny and well timed. And then it starts off fine, and it starts off like their relationship, they're just trying to navigate it kind of together. And then you slowly, as they go room to room, and as they're kind of going through this maze and trying to escape this maze, you see the different strains in their relationship, and you see the different weaknesses and really low points, and they're kind of like getting on each other's nerves, and you slowly see this kind of breakdown between the two of them, all to have it kind of come to a point, and using the escape room at more than once of like, should we just take a hint even though that's cheating? Should we take the easy way out and basically quit? And he's the one that's really persistent, like, I want to keep going, I want to keep trying. And then her, when she's talking to the statue, coming to the realization of like, she just wants out. Like, that's such an interesting concept when you use this escape room to kind of parallel and as a metaphor for their relationship, and how they kind of wove that together. And it wasn't super apparent right at the beginning. They didn't make it like super like deep or super like, they didn't like drench it in metaphor or anything like that, but slowly and subtly using this escape room to not only show more and more strain in their relationship, but also how they approach the escape room, showing how they're approaching their relationship in two different ways. I thought was really, really intriguing, and I enjoy escape rooms, so I thought using an escape room as like a background was really, really interesting, because having done them before, like, you really need good partners. You need people that you can like work together and talk it out and, you know, figure it out together. And so using it for a relationship, using it in this setting, I thought was really, really clever.
Right from the beginning, the gent running the escape room, I have definitely met on some escape room journeys, or gents just like him anyways. It reminded me of so many of the escape room moments I've had and I've seen in my life. So it really built a realistic start to it and allowed me to buy in. And I really liked the stakes of someone being very high, the intimate space of an escape room, the pressures of it, the anxiety, and all of the parallels to a relationship and having to face challenges, solve puzzles together, and having that fear of the unknown. I think this was great, intelligent, sharp, well-crafted dialogue that felt super believable, and I think was also very poignant at the same time. So I loved the ability to swap from humor to poignancy in a second. But just like a lot of balls were tossed into the air and they juggled them really excellently. So I loved this piece.
Escape felt like an episode out of an already existing comedy show. It felt like it could be a standalone. It felt like it could be part of a longer series. Like, I can fully see those two characters go on to get into so many more instances like that, because the way that they counteract each other is absolutely perfect. The Pharaoh at the beginning, who brought them into the room, killed it. It was so funny to watch him. I wanted to see even more of him, but even his voiceovers were great. I also liked the use of the flashlights in the beginning as their own personal lighting. I thought that was a good way to kind of get around the darkness of the room. But honestly, overall, I just felt like this was already a series, and nothing is more comfortable to watch than something that you feel like already exists. So that was really, really nice, and maybe it could become something more. Who knows? It was a very solid piece.